definitions which has been designed by BIRAC, and they are available at our website. I'm also sharing this URL where you can have an access to this document, which is based on thematic area. So these TRL definitions guide the innovators and the evaluators as well as investors to identify the stage of the technology which is under development more objectively. And apart from this guidance, these definitions also include some of the regulatory approvals and quality certifications which are relevant for the progression of TRS as we move from TRL 1 to TRL 9. And this further helps the innovators for commercializing their technology or products in India. So, coming on to the supporting early and late stage research through I4 and PACE program. First of all, I would like to speak about the I4 program, which is the intensifying the impact of industrial innovation. This particular program is run in a PPP mode, which is a public-private partnership program, and it supports biotechnological product or technology development by strengthening the R&D capabilities of the startups or the companies or the LLPs. So it is run through two schemes, primarily Small Business Innovation Research Initiative, which is the SBIRI scheme, and Biotechnology Industry Partnership Program, which is the BIPP scheme. These two schemes are curated in the terms of TRL. That's why I wanted you to have a brief understanding of the TRL levels for each of the thematic areas we have. So for SBIRI, the support is given for the development and initial validation of new products and technologies. And the endpoint of the proposed study should be TRL 6 or below, which is the early stage validation. And the funding under SBIRI scheme is given in the form of 100% grant from BIRAC for the projects up to rupees 50 lakhs. And any amount that exceed 50 lakhs is divided equally between the company and the BIRAC. So let's just to elaborate more on this. Let's, for example, say a total project cost of a project is 100 lakhs, then 75 lakhs are contributed by BIRAC and the remaining 25 lakhs is expected to be borne by the company. BIPP program supports validation, demonstration, and pre-commercialization of products and technologies. And the expected endpoint of the proposed study should be TRL 7, which is late stage validation, a scale up, or above leading to pre-commercialization. And irrespective of the amount of the project cost, BIRAC's contribution to the total project cost does not exceed 50%. So for I4 program, we have 3 calls of proposals which are announced every year. And these calls are alternated between challenge-based calls and regular calls. Under challenge-based calls, we publicize certain areas of which are of priority, which are time to time also announced by Government of India through various mission programs and priority areas. And the proposals are invited under
Yes, yes, yes.
the cost given to the collaborative. Yes. Okay, so I think I won't repeat, Sumitra, because in my subsequent slides also I would be, touching upon these points. So I'll just continue my presentation. I was saying that in addition to the cost which is given to the company, the grant given to the academic institute is entirely borne by BIRAC. Academic institute is not expected to make any contribution. Also, single or any consortia of Indian companies or LLP with or without an academic partner are eligible to apply under these schemes. And royalty is applicable under these schemes as per BIRAC guidelines. Again, I will be dealing in detail regarding these royalty guidelines. So, as I said earlier, we have three calls in a year, calendar year. Each call is announced on 15th of Feb, which closes on 31st of March, 15th of June, which closes on 31st of July, and then 15th of October, which closes on 30th of November. So the call which has been announced on 15th of Feb is still open and it will close on 31st of March. This particular call is a regular call and it is open to all the areas of biotechnology, like I have described earlier, under various thematic areas. So, eligibility of companies under I4 schemes, the proposals can be submitted by solely by a company which has been incorporated under Companies Act, or LLP which has been incorporated under LLP Act, or jointly in the form of company or LLP or any of the academic collaborator. I mean, academic institute can only be the collaborator, not the primary applicant under I4. For companies, it is mandatory to have minimum 51% Indian shareholding. And in case of an LLP, minimum half of the persons who have subscribed their names should be Indian citizens. In addition to this, the applicant company or LLP should either have their own in-house R&D to address the project implementation, or they should be incubated with any of the incubators or recognized incubators. Coming to the SBIRI scheme, SBIRI was India's first biotech funding scheme, which was launched by DBT in the year 2005 to promote the public-private partnership in the biotechnology sector. This particular scheme facilitates early stage research taken by industry, startup, LLP, either alone or in collaboration with the academia in the field of biotechnology for developing a product or a technology. There is no ceiling with regard to the total cost of the project or duration of the project. For up to project cost up to 50 lakhs, entire cost is borne by BIRAC in the form of grant in aid. 100% of the project cost is given to the company. Any cost which exceed 50 lakhs, so 50 lakhs plus 50% of the amount which exceed 50 lakhs is borne by BIRAC in the form of grant in aid. Like I said earlier, in case of collaborative projects, the contribution to academic collaborator is over and above this amount. They are not expected to make any contribution. So, this is the slide which briefs the impact of the SBIRI scheme. We have announced 48 calls till now and have supported more than 400 beneficiaries through more than 300 projects. 674 people have been employed through various projects that have been supported under the scheme, and 57 products and technologies have been commercialized. 46 patents have been filed. So the next scheme under I4 program is the BIPP program, which is Biotechnology Industry Partnership Program. This scheme was the second such scheme under PPP mode in biotechnology sector, which was launched by DBT. And it was intended towards promotion of innovative research for the development of transformational product, processes or technologies using various biotechnological approaches. So biotechnological intervention is one of the criteria for the scheme, like it is for BIRAC. And the scheme serves as a launchpad for validating, scaling, and commercializing high-risk innovations. And this financial support is provided to large, medium, and small-scale industries, and not just small scale. Even now, we have opened this particular scheme to various startups as well, including LLPs. Up to 50% of the project cost is given as grant in aid. And as in SBIRI, collaborative projects which involve academic partner are funded over and above this 50% of the grant which is given to the industry. So under BIPP program, we have 4 categories of support. The first category is the areas where there is which are of major social relevance. However, they have very uncertain market driven demand, and also very high risk discovery innovation research which have relevance for making India globally competitive, where we talk about various drug discovery projects where the risk involved is very high. Also, for import substitutions, this particular scheme is suited. Then we have category 3A and 3B, which are basically for conducting clinical trials in the healthcare sector and agricultural field trials in other agriculture, aquaculture, and veterinary science sector. Then category 4 is primarily for the establishment of major facilities by a private entity, which is critical for enabling innovation. It is run under four modes. I would appreciate if you can go to our BIRAC website and have a look at different modes where such facilities, which will be of national stature, or that could be open for other stakeholders, could be set up. Then this particular slide describes the impact of the BIPP scheme which has been created so far. So we have announced 55 calls and have supported more than 200 projects. Close to 300 beneficiaries have been supported till now, and 63 products and technologies have been developed, and 37 patents have been filed. Now, coming on to the important aspect of these schemes, which is the royalty. So, irrespective of the BIRAC schemes, whether be it BIG, SBIRI, or BIPP, royalty at 5% of the annual net sales of the product, which have been developed with BIRAC's assistance, is payable to BIRAC. And the payment of royalty falls due beginning with the first sale of the product. So, the uh, royalty agreement comes into practice only once the commercialization takes place. So the entire risk of the commercialization aspect of product development is borne by BIRAC. If there is no commercialization, the royalty doesn't starts. But yes, if you are selling the product through BIRAC support through either of these schemes, you are expected to pay 5% of the annual sales amount, and the liability to pay such amount terminates once the royalty amount paid by the company has become equal to the amount the grant in aid has been dispersed to the company. And the grant in aid dispersed to academic collaborator is not part of this amount. Now, this was all about the I4 program, which primarily is curated for the industries as the applicant. Now, coming on to the PACE program, which is promoting academic research conversion to enterprise, where the academia is the primary applicant. This program is run through two schemes. The first one is the academic innovation research. This particular scheme promotes the development of proof of concept for a process product by academia with or without the involvement of the industry. Then we have contract research scheme, which aims at validation of a process or a prototype, which has been developed by the academia by the industrial partner. Now, what types of projects are supported under AIR? Projects should have well established proof of principle and should lead to the development of a prototype of a product or a technology which has either national relevance or commercial potential. Under this scheme, basic exploratory research, all projects which do not have a well established proof of principle, or projects which do not have or have very low commercial potential are not supported. The duration, there is a capping on the duration of the project. The support is for up to 24 months. Also, the total cost of the project should not exceed 50 lakhs. And out of this 50 lakhs, only 10% of the amount can be proposed under non-recurring cost for the purchase of equipments. IP rights reside with the academia alone, or it could be jointly shared between the two academia who are proposing the proposal, or academia or industry. As per the understanding between the two partners, BIRAC do not have any say in the terms and conditions of such agreements. Then, who can apply under AIR? Any academic institute, public or private institute, university, NGO, or a research foundation which have a well established support system for research shall be the primary applicant. They can apply individually or jointly with another academic partner or industrial partner. If they are coming with an industrial partner, the eligibility rules which are stated under I4 program holds true for this scheme as well. Then for public or private institute, university, proper registration, accreditation from a government body is mandatory. And like I said earlier, participating companies should be established under Indian Companies Act with at least 51% Indian shareholding. Under CRS schemes, academia should have an established proof of concept. So it is a, you can say it is a, AIR is a precursor to CRS. You develop a POC under AIR, and then it is expected by the end of the AIR project, the project should be CRS ready. So the POC should be established and it should be ready for validation or scale up by an industrial partner in a contract research mode. Academia has to be the primary applicant with one or more partners, of at least one should be a company. Funding is in the form of grant, which is provided to both academic as well as industrial partners. And although the IP rights reside with academia, industry partner has first right of refusal for commercial exploitation of the new IP. This is the impact of this PACE program. We have supported close to 145 projects till now and have benefited 231 beneficiaries. 7 products and technologies have been developed through this scheme and 16 patents have been filed. And like I said, we have an open call right now, which was advertised on 15th of February under I4 as well as the PACE program. So if you are interested in either of these programs, please apply under our current call. It is a general call. We have not advertised any priority areas. It is open for all the areas of biotechnology, namely healthcare, agriculture, secondary agriculture, veterinary sciences, aquaculture, energy, environment, industrial biotechnology. The last date for submission of proposals is 31st of March, 5:30 p.m. Please keep in mind the last date. So proposals